I'm Tom Mangan. I'm co-founder and CEO of DraftFuel. Over 70% of sports bettors have multiple sportsbook accounts, but no central hub to manage their bankroll or compare the odds and promotions offered by the gaming operators. And that's where we come in. We provide the odds and promotions for all the major sportsbooks, as well as AI prediction data and a dedicated gaming funding account, all in one location. DraftFuel's gaming wallet, which is the heart of our product, automates the collection of a responsible stream of discretionary income to support continual play. We accomplish this through two primary methods. The first, rounding up digital spare change from everyday purchases on connected accounts. For example, each time a user swipes their bank debit card to make a purchase, we monitor those transactions, round up each purchase to the nearest whole dollar, and move the spare change into the user's DraftFuel account. The second method involves monitoring a user's transactions for deposits. For example, the paycheck. Calculating whatever predetermined fixed percentage they've set to save and move it into their DraftFuel account. Our value proposition is that we help sports bettors keep their gambling money separate from their bill money, and by automating their spending capacity, we help them stay in the game longer. Once the money's in a user's account, they can easily connect their DraftFuel Discover prepaid debit card to their preferred sportsbook within the application to make a deposit. Users can compare the odds to make sure that they're finding the best options that pay for the best bet for their options. We also provide AI prediction data to help our users make the most informed betting decisions. And we give access to we have deep links within the application that take a user directly to their desired bet at the sportsbook of their choosing. Our go-to-market strategy is focused on providing the value of predictable cash flows, as well as appealing to the risk profile and spending capacity of 21 to 45-year-old casual sports bettors who earn less than $150,000 annually.
Prior to the development of our product,
we surveyed 1,130 active fantasy sports players and sports bettors, where we learned that 83% would use the app as described. That's the percentage that led us to our TAM, and ultimately our SOM, which we see to be $1.2 billion over 12 million people based on last year's numbers. Our business model is based on three streams of revenue: affiliate earnings and bank card fees, both paid by the sports books. To be specific, we earn up to $300 for each new user who signs up through our affiliate links with the sports books, and 1.65% of all card transactions with a casino or a sports book. Our third stream of revenue will come in the form of subscription. That currently we're giving away our AI prediction data for free, but we're going to put that behind a partial paywall in the near future. When it comes to competition, we have first mover advantage with our debit card product. While there are other companies in the industry who earn through the affiliate channels, none offer a payments product. Our get-in-market strategy has three components. The first would be our street teams or brand ambassadors, where we host on-site happy hour events at local sports bars to drive in-person sales. The second would be digital ads through social media, influencer campaigns, or sponsorships of podcasts. And the third would be B2B or B2B2C channels. We're currently in conversations with other ancillary betting apps, similar to the ones that were on our competition slide, to embed the DraftFuel card inside of their product. When it comes to traction, we've launched at the end of April of this year, and our only marketing activity has been our in-person happy hour events at local sports bars in the Philadelphia area. Since then, we've driven over 300 first-time app downloads, over 120 cardholder accounts, and earned over $5,000 in affiliate fees. In addition to that, we had a $200,000 cash sale of the exclusivity rights to offer our prepaid card through the Discover Global Network. Our goal over the next 12 months is to acquire 23,000 users and reach
$3 million in revenue,
and then grow that 3x year over year, and then look to eventually sell in year 4, year 5 to a gaming or a payments company or an affiliate gaming company. I have over 15 years of business ownership, operations, management, and sales experience, with the last 12 years focused on the lead generation industry. I own a company called Lead Orchard, which we provide sales leads to commercial insurance agents. I exited the daily activity of that business about 2 years ago to focus full-time on DraftFuel. Alex Cullingford is my co-founder and our chief product officer. Alex is an experienced sports bettor, fantasy sports enthusiast, In addition to being our ideal user, he also brings over 15 years of operations and management experience to the team. We have a strong advisory team that encompasses years of knowledge in the payments, development, and marketing industries. We've raised $435,000 to date and have $335,000 left in our current pre-seed round. That will bring us to
14 months of runway and
allow us to reach our goal of 20,000 plus users and $3 million in revenue. Thank you for your time.
You can go. Tom, that was good.
Thank you.
That was really cool. I have a couple questions about the product, okay? Yep. You said one of the ideas here was to keep the gambling money separate from the bill money. Yeah. And so you've got access to their bank account for their paycheck, yeah? And you got access to their credit cards and all that sort of thing to round things up? Yeah. How do you, I have two questions. Number one, how do you get enough trust from a user to give you all that information? Because it's a lot of financial information for them to spill, up front. And then second, how do you manage that responsibly so that their interests are protected? Because a lot of times your financial interests might be different than theirs.
That's a great question. So for trust, when we first went out,
we were just pitching this DraftFuel.
Nobody knew who we were, didn't care. Then we lead into the relationship with Discover, and that's when people started seeing the trust factor involved there. So that's gone a long way for us. And as far as responsibility, we're very concerned about responsible gaming. So within our settings, there's a section where a user can go in and place a limit on the amount of money that we pull into the account automatically each month.
Do you monitor that in any way? Could someone say, I want to deposit 100% of my paycheck into your account?
We don't allow that. So it only goes up to, what is it, 5%?
Yeah, so it's up to, 5%, and you can manually transfer money if you decide to, obviously, because people who occasionally win are going to put money into the card and want to put it back into their checking account. So yeah, they have the option to manually transfer money if they choose to.
And how many users do you have now?
There's 300, it's actually like 350 downloads now, maybe 130 card accounts, 40 people with the roundups on at this point.
So 130 with card accounts attached, right? The 23,000, those are 23,000 with card accounts attached, yeah?
Well, 23,000 is the total users because we make the revenue from the affiliate fees.
Oh, right.
They don't even have to have a card account with us to make money from affiliate fees.
Total users would be like 250. I think we're about 250 plus. Those are just people who have a DraftFuel account. The card account portion you apply for separately.
That's right. So you can make money on people even when they don't do transactions.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking to build trust over time that way as well. They see our messages, our push notifications, emails, and eventually pull that into the mix as well to automate the savings for themselves.
Yeah, a couple things. Those are good questions. Slightly different angle, maybe. One is just from the context of the pitch. Good. I think it's an interesting space for sure. There's a lot of fun stuff and good stuff going on. From the pitch itself, when I'm looking at it from what you have here, I'd like to see really clearly kind of the breakdown of where you're getting revenue currently, and specifically which lines of revenue you're going to be chasing the hardest, because that's going to be, from a use of proceeds standpoint, where most of the money goes, is going to be activating those lines of revenue, whether it's the direct acquisition or it's a recurring revenue on transactions. Obviously, that comes with users, so maybe that's user acquisition. But from an investor standpoint, it's always nice to see, what in the out years, when you are a couple $1 million business, where do you expect that couple $1 million to have come from? Because obviously, transaction fees or recurring, much more interesting than one-time activation fees, and so that has implications for kind of valuation, that kind of thing. So that's all just a comment, but overall, idea in the pitch is good. I'd love to hear you comment on the regulatory side of this. I don't see anything in particular when I listen to this, but of course, I think states are going to be making huge, I think this is all, you got a lot of wind at your back, right? Because states are going to be going for this tax revenue, just like they are other new forms of tax revenue. So I think you're going to get momentum at the state level in terms of people approving this type of activity. But I wonder about the regulatory aspect of that, and I'd be curious to have you guys comment on what you see from a regulatory standpoint that may either, greatly enhance your ability and your scale, or potentially disrupt or force you to kind of change the model.
We'll take that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you mentioned the tax revenue. I mean, that's been the biggest driver, especially since COVID. I mean, I think a lot of states realized like this was a way to the budget issues they were facing. Like when Jersey and New York, you had all these people in New York who were just going to Jersey and placing bets. You have these neighboring states who have betting and the other, so you're not really stopping anything. Those people can easily get to a state. A lot of them were just driving over the border to place those specific bets. So I think now we're at 33 states total. The thing with that is there are only really 15 states that do fully mobile gaming, where, hey, I can be at my home, sign up at my home, and place bets at home. Like some of the states you have to go register in person. So I think that you're seeing that increase also. Illinois was a state where you had to register at home, even though they had mobile gaming. Now you can go, again, you can register at home now before you had to go in, I'm sorry. So yeah, I think Kansas just came online, Maryland, Ohio's coming in January. California, Florida, I mean, Florida's having discussions. A lot of it, you have the tribal casinos in these areas. But again, they're all working this out. DraftKings and FanDuel, I think, just put about $20 million into their lobbying efforts to get California going.
Real active lobby, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like a when, not if, I think, is really the overall consensus. And the states are gradually all, again, just flowing in. And most of the states coming online now are coming online with the mobile gaming right off the bat.
So the last bit with that kind of energy is just if there's any protection in the business. It's hard, especially in payments and transactions, have been around for a long time. I don't know that there's IP, but there will be a ton of people rushing at the space. And so anything that you could do or show in a pitch that gives you some protection against, folks that would be entering the space, especially folks with, gigantic wallets like the big players. So, yeah, otherwise, great stuff. I think there's a lot of opportunity in this space for sure.
Yeah. Can I go back to the user thing? So you said 3 million on 23,000 users, yeah? So $130 a user, yeah, something like that, yeah? Is most of that the bonuses from the sites for getting people to sign up? I mean, sounds like it would be, right?
Yeah, so it varies. So for example, Caesars will pay $300, BetMGM pays $120. We renegotiate those after 12 months, so that can grow as well.
And then from the roundup,
The 1.65% that occurs for sportsbook and casino deposits, but we also, it's a debit card like any other, so you can use it to order pizza from Amazon, so we get 1.25% on that. So our goal right now,
Because the long term, this business is the interchange, not those bonuses.
Yeah, it's got to be the recurring revenue.
So I'm a licensed gaming professional and I'm a credit card guy. So keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So over time, our goal right now, I think it's $51. The average user rounds up each month. So our goal is to increase that amount to at least.
You said that means that they run $51 on a credit card every month.
Through the roundups. Spare change shows up onto the card.
I got you,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So the goal is.
80 cents or whatever.
Yeah, so the goal is to increase that we're looking to build a rewards program into the system where we partner with companies, let's say like Fanatics, the obvious companies in the space where we can say, buy your team apparel here. Once you deposit, after your first 100 deposit,
dollars goes to the DraftFuel account. We'll
give you access to this, whatever percentage off at whatever retailer.
Can we go back to slide 2? So my number one question, the very beginning, my number one question when I was listening to you was, is this we get affiliate bonuses business, or is this we're going to get a transaction flow from our customers' business? I'm sorry, I meant slide 3. Yeah. Keep going. Sorry, I didn't know what slide. I don't know what slide, Tom. Keep going. That one.
That one.
That one.
Stop. That one.
Right. Right. Yeah. And like, do you know the answer to that question? Right.
Well, we have a feeling for that.
Is it that the bonuses fund CAC, and then the transactions are the value? Is that?
Yeah, I think in the long term, that's what it ultimately is. So for us, like, for example, Caesars just became live in Pennsylvania last week. So it's getting out and promoting those signups because nobody has it. So it's like, okay, sign up through Caesars Sportsbook. We earn $300 on that transaction. And then over time, I think the affiliate market will start to the dust will settle over time. A lot of people will have these accounts already. And that's while we're building up the percentage of deposits and the roundups. Over time, we build up the revenue from the transactions in the long run.
There's a huge risk for businesses of the structure that you're talking about, where you get a bunch of juice at the beginning from a partner and you're relying on the transactions long term. It's like, I would advise, and I'm sure you know this, but holy cow, you got to put a lot of energy in building that transactional thing, because it's easy to get addicted to that juice, right? I mean, it is, and that won't get you the enterprise value that you want, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's why we're thinking about bringing on advisors from the casino industry to talk about rewards programs and how they do it.
And not burning those guys out. Because if you really do protect them, that's a good thing. Oh, is that 15 minutes, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say one other thing. This is a great pitch book, right? And you're a good presenter. These slides didn't serve you as well with a big crowd because this is a book, right? This is for someone to sit and read. Okay. And there were, like, you said some great things that are on these charts, and while you were flipping through, nobody could read it. Gotcha. You know what I mean? No, yeah, you need the 36-point font version for the big, yeah. Well, just for this, you know, that's yeah. But you did great.
Yeah, good stuff, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you.